Chiefs and Bills, last game of the divisional round. Got a tongue twister right there. They faced already in the regular season. So in this wild card weekend, divisional round weekend, 3 of the matchups these teams have played in the regular season before. The first matchup with the Bills and Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs 20-17 in week 14. So that matchup was somewhat recent. Not a doubt I'm going with the Chiefs. It's not a doubt.
Are you you're kind of, because you're also a Josh Allen guy, so you wouldn't be upset if Buffalo moves on?
No.
What's percentage?
Wait, if they move on, what do you mean if they beat the Chiefs?
Yeah.
It's good football. Josh Allen deserves it. He's a great quarterback. I like watching great quarterbacks succeed. I do.
Political answer, but okay.
Josh Allen is good. He deserves it. It wasn't his fault they lost 2 years ago. He played perfect.
You said no doubt Chiefs. What's the percentage here? What percentage of the Bills have to win?
Well, I think it's a 50-50.
Oh, okay.
But
no doubt in your mind.
No doubt in my mind it's the Chiefs.
Yep,
I got the Chiefs winning this game. But it's 50-50. This game can go either way. I don't think it's going to be high scoring like we saw 2 years ago. I think both these defenses are elite. I think both these offenses have some struggles too at times, and they've been inconsistent this year. So I think this is a defensive matchup. What concerns me is that the Bills got a lot of injuries. Christian Benford, Terrell Bernard, Gabe Davis, Leonard Floyd, all DNPs for practice. They might play, they might not.
Gabe Davis is basically Ronnie Bell at this point.
I'll be honest, they don't give a fuck if Gabe Davis plays or not.
Razua Douglas dealing with a knee injury, but he's probably going to play. They got a lot of injuries. I think that the Bills have changed their offensive approach since Joe Brady's come in. They've run the ball more. They're 8-1 when James Cook rushes for 65-plus yards. Stephon Diggs hasn't had 100 yards receiving since October. They're feeding everybody else, whether it's Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook, Gabe Davis. People are getting involved. But the Chiefs' defense is just too good. They have the best cornerback group in the playoffs left with L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie. Those are 2 legitimate shutdown corners who you can shadow on receivers, and they could take those guys away. Stephon Diggs hasn't been getting doubled in this recent stretch. It's one-on-one coverage, and it's not that he's not great. It's that there are just more options on the Bills now that they don't have to force feed him like they did before.
He's also been dropping some easy ones, too.
Yeah, I also look at the Bills, and the interior of their offensive line is the weakest part of their offensive line. The tackles are awesome with Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins, but the interior is kind of weak, and that's the Chiefs' strengths. I just think the Chiefs have found who they're going to be. They got to win ugly. They got to run the ball. They got to make timely plays. They needed a receiver to step up. That's Rashee Rice. And Patrick Mahomes, when he gets into the playoffs, is an all-time great playoff performer. He is, you can argue, the best playoff performer statistically in the history of the NFL. He's 5-0 in divisional matchups in his career, and he's going to Jordan it and go 6-0 in the divisional round.
Jordan it in divisional round is so nuts.
6-0. 6-0.
Divisional round, my brother.
Jordan didn't lose in the
divisional round, my brother.
Hold on.
But Jordan lost in the first round.
Yeah, but don't. Please.
I'd rather get 6-0 in the finals.
All I'm saying is that
Jordan.
All I'm saying is that Mahomes is 5-0
and in the AFC Championship already.
All I know, so he's having losses in the championship games like LeBron.
True. Yes, go there. Don't come here.
But I'm saying Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. Mahomes gonna go 6-0 in the divisional round. And he's gonna go to the AFC Championship.
You're sick.
And we're gonna get a Super Bowl of Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love. That's gonna be the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yes.
I think these two teams kind of give me the same vibe as opposed to both elite defenses. I think the Buffalo Bills, they may not be elite, but they've been playing really great fucking football on that end, And you mentioned the injuries, but I'll be honest, they don't give a shit about them. They've been injured all year. They've been dealing with guys leaving mid-game, and they've always been able to just plug in a player, play your toughest. They did lose Bernard for the rest of the year. That does suck.
So he's not playing.
Yeah, I don't think but Douglas said he's playing. So that's a fact. Benford is playing, so that's huge, And if Douglas is playing, I trust Douglas on Rashee Rice. With all due respect to Rashee Rice, Rashee Rice has been hooping, and even then, they don't have the corner group of the Chiefs, but Douglas, Johnson, Benford is pretty damn good with Poyer and Micah Hyde back there, so they've been pretty solid themselves. And then there's unsung heroes like AJ Espenza, Tyler Dotson. They've got guys who just step up at any waking moment and make a play for them. So this Bills defense has been hooping. It's really the offenses of both teams. Which offense can get it going. The Bills have been doing a balanced attack, and we've seen Cook get involved. We've seen Josh Allen get back to his running ways. And that's a situation where now you got Josh running, Josh being able to hit the open guys. You got Shakir that's woken up. You've got Dalton Kincaid who's woken up. You got Knox still there. And you still got Diggs. So for me personally, I'm going the Bills. I think both defenses are great. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. But if I had to choose an offense to rely on. I know I believe Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. I know he's great in the playoffs. But if there's one guy that can go toe-to-toe with him,
it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, and not to mention he has the better weapon room in guys like Kincaid, Knox, Diggs, Shakir. If Gabe Davis plays, he's still a body, so he has those type of guys. I'll go with Buffalo.
Where you going, Drew?
A day that I never thought would come and pick a side history, but here we are. If I'm anything, I'm a man that learns from previous mistakes. I stood on business last week. I was wrong. It is what it is. But this week, I'm starting to turn a new leaf. Take proper, concise thoughts over
No bias.
the bias selections.
This would be bias. Oh, right.
You kidding me? This would be the definition.
But this
of
is actually
bias.
good team versus good team.
It is. And I think Buffalo does have a chance in this one. However, there's just been too many moments where you look at Kansas City, you look at Patrick Mahomes, and in games where you could even think about, hey, it's a close one, you just should go with the Kansas City Chiefs for the idea that in these situations, like Joel already mentioned, I won't go into any more detail because it's painful enough to speak it is as is. Yes, you take Patrick Mahomes in these situations. You saw the way that Rashee Rice performed in the wild card round versus the Miami Dolphins. Travis Kelce had a couple bad drops in this game, still went for 78, if I'm not mistaken, against the Miami Dolphins. I understand that this Bills defense is better than the Miami Dolphins defense right now, and I understand that Chiefs offense definitely has not been playing at that level. But there is a path for them to win. Isaiah Pacheco ran the ball 21 times against the Miami Dolphins. I anticipate maybe not 21 carries, but he's going to have to shoulder a significant load on that aspect of the game. And Pacheco obviously shown that he can be effective in doing so. I think he'll have himself a solid ball game. But what it comes down to is it's Patrick Mahomes that just gets the slight edge over a Josh Allen. But this Chiefs defense is definitely the better of the two. And that's not knocking the Bills. It's more so an acknowledgement of what the Chiefs have been throughout the entirety of the season. He already mentioned the cornerback room. They've been amazing. Bolton's been getting back. He's obviously a huge part. Chris Jones being great. Karlaftis can obviously get to the quarterback. No Derek Nnamdi, if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. It's looking like he's not going to be playing in this one, which obviously is not an ideal situation for the Chiefs, but they have so many difference makers on that defense. I think as is that it'll be enough for them to get past the Buffalo Bills. It'll be a good game. I hope the Buffalo Bills pull it out. I really
They're home
fucking
for
do.
the first time. They are home.
But I just feel like it
Fraudulent to
doesn't.
AFC Championship appearance.
But that doesn't have to do with anything.
A true love story.
I said it on the stream. If you guys were watching, I still feel consistent on this.
Yeah, he called them fraudulent.
No, I said that they're not contenders.
I think he said they're like a second round exit. First round. He did say they were like around that.
Well, I did pick them to lose.
Well,
to be
during the
fair.
regular season, every week it was they're fraudulent.
Their
they're
offense is
fraud.
not.
round
I said they're
exit,
not
yes.
contenders because they don't have a good offense. I do still firmly believe the Ravens are the team to beat in the AFC. That's the
they're
team
in the
that
AFC Championship game though. They're kind of contenders.
you could say that, which I guess I would make me wrong.
Yeah, I would say if you're AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Top 4.
I agree.
Damn.
It's going to be tougher for the
Let
Chiefs
me ask you a
to
question
win.
though. Just complete aside. The year that the Giants both went to the Super Bowl, would you say they were contenders?
They had to be.
Entering the playoffs, probably not.
won,
but
though.
They ended up
at
being.
the end-
They
at the
won.
end
Yeah.
They were.
But
They
they
gotta be
ended up
contenders.
becoming that, correct?
Yeah,
Would you call the Chiefs contenders before they started?
I just don't know if I'm comparing those
No, of
Giants
course
teams
not.
to
Of course not.
Mahomes and
Of
that.
course
There's
I'm just
history with the
wondering.
Chiefs
This guy's
being
nuts.
great.
Just wondering.
I think.
There's history with the
I
Giants
thought they
being
was the
great.
Eagles. They wasn't.
I didn't say that.
Oh,
Not just in terms of just being frauds.
Eagles are frauds.
I'm not saying
I'm
it
just always
same
gonna
way.
talk
Cowboys
shit.
are frauds too.
I have no
Dolphins were also
problem.
frauds.
Nah,
talking
you
loosely
believe
on
they
the
was
Chiefs.
frauds.
No,
He
I
wasn't
do.
just
I
a
know
frauds.
their
Take that one
offense
with a
still
grain
isn't
of
good.
salt.
Be honest, we got this whole table. Everyone's frauds. Eagles.
You're not frauds.
Chiefs,
You're just
Eagles,
ass. It's
Dolphins,
different.
Cowboys. Well, I was just saying with
Is their
Jalen
offense
Hurts,
good?
To be honest, not the Jets. Jets are.
The Chiefs?
I don't know. What the
Real,
word is.
like in the grand scheme of things, would you call it a good offense?
Yes, it's not elite. It's a good offense though.
I don't think this offense is that great. We
That's
do
what I
this,
would say.
We
Thank
do
you.
this with
It's
the
good.
Dolphins.
He said good. Good
We
is-
do this-
Yeah, that's what I
hold on.
said.
We do this
It's
with
good.
the Dolphins, so it's only fair we do it with the Chiefs. When the Chiefs went and played playoff teams this season,
There we
Week
go,
1, they scored
Devs.
20 points. Week 9, 21 points. Excuse me. Let me start over with the opponent. Week 1, 20 against the Lions. Week 9, 21 against the Dolphins. Week 11, 17 against the Eagles. Week 13, 19 against the Packers. Week 14, 17 against the Bills. If you want to throw in this previous matchup against the Dolphins, scoring 26,
I think you
that
should
would be their
take
season
week
high.
1 off because Kelsey didn't play.
Okay, that's
With
fair.
respect.
But regardless, if that was one of their better games, so we're talking about less than 20 points per
Add it back.
game when they're playing opposing playoff teams. Of course, it's different because it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. At any moment, they can turn it on. Mahomes could get a broken play and turn it into a touchdown. A lot of other teams that we are calling frauds or have called frauds don't have that ability to do. But similar to how I feel about maybe the Bucs getting a little overrated, I feel like the Chiefs might be getting a little overrated now because of that Dolphins win. Dolphins team never had a chance. I mean, this Dolphins team, I was very confident that they were gonna lose. A warm weather team going into negative 30 wind chill.
The quarterback couldn't.
All
throw.
of the injuries on
Football's
the
a cold sport.
all of the injuries on defense. They had Melvin Ingram and Emmanuel
All 32 teams
Ogbah
need
as their
them.
edge rushers instead of Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. I didn't have Xavier Howard, didn't have Jerome Baker. The injuries there was a plethora of them defensively. And then offensively, they couldn't fucking move the ball. They were 1 for 12 on third down. The one time they scored was Tyreek Hill just being elite and catching an underthrown ball and taking it to the house. This was a game that the Chiefs had to win. They won convincingly, but I'm not taking this game and saying this is what the Chiefs are now. This is a team that could score when they need to. I trust their defense because all season long they've been great. There's only 2 or 3. Was it 2 or 3? 2 games all season, they allowed more than 21 points. One of those was to the Broncos, funny enough, in week 8, and the other one was to the Packers, Mr. Jordan Love in week 13. So we know this defense is tremendous. We know how great it is. But I just trust the Buffalo Bills offense a little bit more right now. Josh Allen, I know Mahomes can do this too, but Josh Allen just has been finding a way down the stretch to will his way to victory. I feel like over the second half of the year, the Bills were the better team basically every single week in playoff mode, and they were getting those wins every single week. Of course, that Week 18 game over the Dolphins was huge, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers and now going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I got the Buffalo Bills here. I think it'll be a close game.
Bills Mafia, we're here,
I'll
Dels.
say like 23-17. But I think Buffalo, for the first time, beats Kansas City in the playoffs.
Dels, do you want to be in Bills Mafia?
I'm a Jets fan. I can't.
All right. Sorry.
So just to let you guys know, I just bought a subscription to FTN
Shout out
Fantasy.
FTN.
So
Goats.
I'll
You
show
gonna
you
send it to
guys.
us?
I'll show you
Shout out to our
guys
guy,
the
Adam.
login.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll show you the login later. In terms of defensive DVOA, the defensive schedule for the Chiefs this year ranked 19th. The Bills ranked 28th. So the Bills haven't been facing high-level offenses all that much this entire season. I do agree with most of what you're saying, Dels. I don't think the Dolphins game was the game that I'm saying, okay, the Chiefs are legit. They're Super Bowl contenders. They're going to make it. The Bills game is, though. If they can score on the Bills
I agree.
and they can stop the Bills defensively,
At that point,
now
they're
I
just
go in. Now I
championships.
go into next week.
You're picking them against Baltimore.
I'll pick them against
There
Baltimore.
you go.
That is.
I don't think it's going to be a shootout, though.
Nah, it'll be a nasty, ugly-ass game.
My final score for the game is 27-24 Chiefs. I think it's close. I think it comes down to
Hey,
the final
man,
possession.
if Buffalo can get past their one lingering hunch,
It'll be similar to how it looked last time. I think 21-17.
27, 20, no 19-16. I could see that too, though, happen. But Buffalo wins this game, we're here.
I'll
Super
be
Bowl.
ecstatic.
Super Bowl.
I'll be through the moon.
Super Bowl.
It's crazy, man. We're going to get a
It's our year, bro.
Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love Super Bowl.
It's not happening, bro. It'll be Josh Allen versus Brock Purdy.
LeBron James played against 35% of all players in NBA history.
Where's the Super Bowl at this year?
It's fucking insane.
It's in Las Vegas.
Sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Las Vegas. So, yeah, Josh Allen be popping some casinos. You know, Brock Purdy being there with his cheap money, you know, because he don't got all too much. And there'll be Niners in the Bills, man.
Hey, it wouldn't be a bad game.
Be great.
Chiefs and
You
Packers.
think the
would be
Bills
better,
are
though.
beating the Ravens?
They can.
Ah,
I don't see why they can't.
I can.
Yeah, they
Give
can.
Josh Allen. Anything's possible.
Yeah, they can do it.
you know what? Who am I? I think the Texans and Ravens will be a good game, so it should be a good game between the Bills and the Ravens. If
Yeah,
it were to
I
happen.
think Buffalo, realistically, honestly, Buffalo can probably beat any team in the world, but they can also lose to every single team in the world. And that's how they're built. They just,
Lucky you're not playing the Jets, man. You'd be screwed.
where would he be at? We'd be in Buffalo. I won't be screwed. If it was in
It
New
would
Jersey,
be in the regular
yeah.
season.
Huh?
It would be in the regular season.
Just like the Broncos.
Well, if it's home, though,
Super Bowl champions, 2016.
Fuck.
Got it.
if the Bills were at Jersey in the playoffs, they lose to the Jets.
We won a Super Bowl
100%.
before you won a playoff game. Ouch.
No, we won a playoff game in 2010.
We won a Super Bowl 2016.